OTR. 27.085 megahertz. The Old Tube Radio Network.
As they say, brought to you by RADIO. And I think we have radio 27085 if you're somewhere on the air, Channel 11 in the Central Valley of California. Listening to the frequency moments ago sounded pretty quiet. We had a speck of gray line come in from Hawaii, and it quickly diminished. I haven't heard any of the 10-meter beacons doing their beaconing thing. Should have audio at oldtuberadio.net for the audio stream, and I believe the YouTube video is up for September 4th, 2021. Hello to everyone there, and hello to all of you who have joined us here on the Old Tube Radio Network. My name is Dennis, your net controller for the evening, for lack of anyone else, but there have been plenty of net controllers throughout the 35, 36 years that the Old Tube Radio Network has been on the air, where every Saturday evening, starting at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time at this point, or Pacific Time, Daylight or Standard, we talk with, and recreate the sound of Citizen Band Radio back in the day when it was brand new in 1958, and all the way up through about 20 years, 1978, when the tube radios were no longer manufactured, but were still on the air. The demeanor, the operators, our radios could remind you of those times, and hopefully they will. If you are new to the Old Tube Radio Network or Citizen Band Radio, give a listen, because this is the sound that you may not remember. A lot of us do. Our tube radio collectors take time out of their Saturday evenings to stop by and say hello. And, of course, the shortwave listeners always tuning in, like myself, and enjoying the radios. So without any further ado or don't, we will get to the the SWL check-ins, and the tube radio check-ins will be after that. A different attire tonight. I was over at an OTR board meeting out in the green room. And so on an OTR board meeting, we have a meeting until everyone is bored. That takes about 5 minutes, and then we go do something fun. So stand by for roll call. And I'm looking for my roll call list here. That's right in front of me. Starting with SWL 00, Mr. JT. I'm getting him a check-in. He is away or visiting, and I think he promised us a video at the CB Break in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I guess CB Break and Shootout. So he said he may have some video for that and some information on what goes on. So look for Old Radio Night coming up in a day or two when he returns into the radio room. Also, we will get checked in cosmically. SWL number 1, Dr. J. SWL number 2, right here, front row center on the video side, checking in with, he said, about 33 sunspots. Or the sunspot number is 33. Let me get this right. So that means there might be 3 or 4 rotating around. Conditions aren't too great here on the higher bands. Depending on where you're at, you might have some 6-meter, 2-meter activity, but here on 11 meters, you will have plenty of activity on your Old Tube Radio Network. Hello, Mr. OBP. SWL3, that is Rob, who is out somewhere. I believe he checked in via Facebook. I better start writing this stuff down or I won't remember. SWL4, SWL5, and some of you are checking in early. I see, no problem. I will make sure that I get you at the appropriate time. It is late on the West Coast, so it's even later on the East Coast and parts in between. So we understand if you need to get in and get out. It is the Labor Day weekend, so a lot of people may be out traveling and doing stuff. SWL6. Shortwave listener 7.
SWL7 checking in.
Checking in and sounding good. Hope it's noise free tonight, but if not, you are checked in.
Thank you.
Over to shortwave listeners 10, or actually 10, who is in. They jumped in early, needed to do a few things. I think they're putting away the groceries. You know, you got to put away those snow cones and drumsticks before they melt out of the box. So they'll be back. Over to SWL 13. Mike, Mr. Cobra. I don't see his beacon. I don't see his. Let me see. I'll get the right mouse here. His APRS beacon is gone. So I'm going to have to ask him how that turned out. Over to SWL 14. Shortwave listener 16. Let me check the board tonight. SWL 16. Charlie out there in Anoka, Minnesota. I did see him on the list. He's hiding. He's hiding behind down in the front row tonight, checking things. I think we have a special group coming in to watch and listen for the radios tonight. So thanks, Charlie. Charlie's helping them out in the front row, make sure everybody's doing good things there. Over to SWL 17. Hearing something in there. SWL 18. Got Mr. KDA from the Facebook page. SWL 19. Holding up the cue cards tonight. That's Chet out in Derby, New York. Chet's got cue card duty tonight. Thank you. And like I always say, if you see me stand on my head, you know you've got the card upside down. Over to SWL 20. Time to get 20 a proxy check-in as he is listening. I think he's driving around. I think he's listening from wherever, but I'll have to see who is listening tonight. We've got the unknown SWL up in the balcony tonight, along with our listeners from Inglewood, Colorado, Dallas, Texas, Dallas, Georgia, coming up to you. Hello to Auberry, Fresno, going up the pool from down Smoke Below up in Blackpool tonight, getting up early before the sun. Hello to San Francisco, Temecula, coming up to you, the boys in Squamish. Check them out up on the balcony. I don't see them. Where are they tonight? They're somewhere up there. There's a lot of lights. We got the lights fixed in here tonight. And I'm wearing some weird blue blocking glasses that are doing strange things. Anoka, Minnesota, Plymouth, New York. Hello to Plymouth, New York. Staying up late, Canby, Oregon. I got the keys from Bill to get in the studio tonight. Thanks for that. And Hermosa Beach and Fish Camp, always listening in on the Old Tube Radio Network. And a host of others. Over to SWL 21. We got JT checked in. Like I said, look for Old Radio Night coming up in a few days when he returns. Over to SWL 22. SWL 23, and I think 23 Skidoo is still skedaddled, but we'll get Mitch checked in and hopefully have some information, all the good stuff that he's been doing coming up. SWL 24. SWL 25.
25 checking in, Dennis. Good evening, and might as well. There we go. Anyway, back to you, Dennis.
All right, back to me in the studio. 25 and 74, both sounding marvelous here in Midtown Fresno tonight. We've got you checked in. Thanks for listening. Over.
All right, Dennis, thank you. And back to the ball game. And have a good evening.
All right, before you go, who's on the ball game tonight? Over.
Tough with Oregon, and actually was ahead for a while, but we lost, I think it was 30 to 24, if that's what you're referring to. Anyway, back to you, Dennis.
Okay, all of the above. I knew it was a busy night for playing in sports tonight. So I wanted to see what our competition was, plus get the latest stuff. And it sounds like the game is not blacked out. So go to it. We will catch you later. Thanks for checking in. And I am turning the page over for SWL 27.
27's checking in live from Studio G.
All right, Studio G, where you're getting the ball game reports via FT8. Or is it FT4? Or is it 4-8? Who's ahead?
Well, it was 3-1 Dodgers a while ago. I don't know what it is now. I'm outside in Studio G with no TV.
And I'm in the studio, whatever, and there's no TV. In fact, I think I'm the TV, which is a pretty sorry state of affairs. Thanks for checking in.
Roger. Thanks, Dennis.
Yeah, somewhere at oldtuberadio.net there would be a TV. Thing is, you can turn the video off and wait for the pictures of the radios to pop up. Otherwise, you can see your number as you check in here on the Old Tube Radio Network. I found an appropriate old 40-year-old jacket tonight to attend the meeting and wear for the video. And of course, we do have the OTR official net control shirt. Heading over to SWL 28, Gary and the group up the road just a piece here in California. Hello, Gary. He's checking in. Nice, calm evening in Sacramento. We're getting up. I think we got up to 100 today, so you guys are probably just a bit cooler. With the Delta breeze, the limo is running rough. I think someone put diesel in it. I was in the limo tonight. That's where we went. We went through the meeting. I'm just thinking, is there a picture? Let me get a picture. See if I can get a picture of the we were in the big red limo. Bob has the big red limo all decked out when we do. Yeah, there it is. When we do. I'm looking for the picture. There it is. Oh, it's stretched. I put the super stretch picture on there. That's a little bit better. But there's the big red limo. And that is where we had our meeting tonight, doing good stuff, and it was even catered. So it's probably running rough because you have not seen the streets. You have not seen the streets in Fresno. Not good at all. We definitely need some tax money or something to get streets going. Anyway, thanks, Gary, for checking in. And we've also got. Well, I'm doing a long key down here, aren't I? We've also got SWL 29 checked in. Over to SWL 30. And 30 is checked in earlier. To be back. Dwayne is probably setting up the Browning and the Robin tonight in hopes that we'll have some of that good short E-skip as well. Over to SWL 31. SWL 32. Shortwave listener 33. That's the group here. Bozo Control should be somewhere, maybe honking. Yeah, honking the proboscis, doing a good job. Over to SWL 34. Mr. Railroader. I'll get Jimmy checked in. He'll probably stop in. I don't know. I think he wakes up at 1 in the morning, says, oh gosh, I got to go to OTR, and manages to catch us on. So, Jimmy, you're checked in. Over to SWL 35. I have to go up and refresh my page to see if we've got Cheyenne, Wyoming. It's September. Winter is going to start beaconing down the hills in Cheyenne, Wyoming, in the not the too distant future, I think. Over to SWL 36. Shortwave listener 37. And there is Bill, right where he should be. All right, Mr. Bill. Red Monkey Communications. I think he's still got some, he's stocked up on a lot of good radios and antennas and things. So make sure, if you are in the area, or if you see the Red Monkey Communications vehicle, which is actually, it's the only thing I know of that's bigger than the big red limousine, and it's full of good radio stuff. You need to Check out Mr. Bill and Red Monkey Communications. Over to SWL 35. Let me get you checked in if I didn't. SWL 38. And Albert says, okay, I see you guys up in the balcony now. Once you got the flames going up there, I can tell you they're serving barbecue beef on a bun and lots of popcorn. We'll see what's happening in the green room tonight, out with Jingle Singers. We want to go there. Lots of good stuff. Oh, and you know what? When I was in the limo here tonight, it was Stump the bartender. I said, I know you don't have tangerine juice, and look at what they found. Some tangerine juice tonight, so they've got everything. Over to SWL 39, SWL 40. And 40 checked in earlier on Facebook, I do believe. Over to SWL 41, right to Beaconing in, checking in from the Hudson Valley of New York, saying good evening. To International Sidebander 507. All right, 41, you are in. And the bands are quiet tonight. Let's see, SWL 42. SWL 43. Going to check in for Crazy Eddie. And 44 lurking somewhere in the noise level. I should say I'm lurking in his noise level somewhere. SWL 45. Hello, Paul, SWL 45.
1645. I can't hear anything, but it looks like I'm on an iPad. 45.
Okay, yeah, the iPad does it again. You're sounding good on the transmit, as you probably hear on the playback, so no problem. Keep listening. We've got good stuff coming up. SWL 46. Shortwave listener 47.
Well, good evening from the Radio Lounge, SWL 47.
Sounding good from the Radio Lounge. It is a Radio Lounge kind of evening. And we got you checked in here on what appears to be, the Labor Day weekend coming up. Thanks for listening.
Oh, I can't think of any better way to celebrate Labor Day weekend than to spend some time on old tube radio. Thank you.
Yeah, labor over a few tubes and transistors. Thanks for checking in. Let's go over to SWL 48. And I think I heard this station beaconing through earlier, sounding good on sideband Friday Night Net, SWL 49.
About that one. Hey, wishing everybody well. Mr. 49er here checking in. Getting a head start to the early happy birthday celebration. Having a couple of adult beverages here in the Flying Cigar, and we're having a great night. So hope everyone is doing the same, and we thank you for the check-in. We've also got sweet country mama waving a hand here in the background. And again, hope everyone's having a great one, and we'll be listening.
All right, thanks for checking in. The birthday celebration should be a good one. In fact, you got a couple of birthdays. I think yours and Toby at Midwest Sound, and we've got the tangerine juice. And it has not been adulterized yet, but we'll see what happens. And also getting an X in the square for Sweet Country Mama. Thanks for listening.
Can I check in?
You can check in, sir. We were on the right page. How about SWL 37?
Yeah, SWL 37 here checking in. Good evening, Dennis.
All right, you are still good. It's like getting into the into Mervin's before they close those doors. You are good to go. Got you checked in.
Absolutely. Boy, that Mervin's hadn't been around a long time, have they? I live right around the corner from where they were. All right, thank you. I'm out listening.
Yeah, I don't know why that came up. I could have said Montgomery Ward's, the way things are going here in Fresno. I could have said Sears, right? I don't think we have a Sears store anymore. The Old Tube Radio Network is what you're listening to at 27085. If we're live, or perhaps you're watching the YouTube video or watching delayed playback. Tube radios are up that way, I think, on the tape playback, whatever it is they do on the playback. and our listeners from far and wide. Let's see. I want to get through the page here. Oh, listening for SWL50.
There's Monkey Woods, Dennis, that I live by.
Yeah, down the thing. That's the, what is it? That's the target now. Over to SWL51. I do believe I saw 51305 checking in on the video side. Probably got some noise. We got you checked in. Dave, over to SWL52. And SWL53.
Hello, Dennis. 53, the Legend, Bel Air, checking in.
All right, and as they say, the Legend is logged, and you are beaconing worldwide, everywhere on oldtuberadio.net. Thanks.
Thank you there. Have a good one. Take care.
And before I turn the page, let's see who else is, who's watching tonight. Who's watching my, I don't know. You know, I thought this was one of the old corduroy suits with the jackets with the patches, but it's not. It still fits. I think this is a 38 long, I think is what it is. It still seems to work after 40-something years. Hello to Juliet Whiskey. John is in the corn patch tonight. KJG4755 from KEO8492. GWD Labs is up and running to make sure that all the equipment in the rack here is not overdriven and well modulated. Otherwise, I'll get a talking to for sure. Hello, Cornbread. He's checking in. Survived the hurricane. That's right. I cannot believe in a place here where we get 9 inches of rain a year, maybe 12 inches, and you can get 3 inches in an hour or 6 to 9 inches in a couple of days. I do not know. I do not know what to say about that. I don't even know what to think about that. But says they're doing okay on the Gulf Coast of Louisiana. It says the Moonraker made it through. So I hope everybody is doing okay. I know there was flooding in New York. Anyway, it's just we've got no rain, and you all have tons of rain, and there's no pipeline to ship it through. Neil, I see you there. We will come up to you. Hello, Rusty. He's echoing in from Arkansas, listening in. I was listening to 20 meters, and Arkansas was booming in earlier. Dennis, I will get you checked in. John is ready for the show. John F's got his popcorn, and it's ready to go. Kenny checked in earlier, and we will keep on going. Did I say we were on page 3? That's Mr. Board Jammer. Got 54 checked in. Over to SWL 55.
55, checking in.
Sounding good. Good signal here into Flatlands and Midtown. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Dennis.
I hear some small signals out there. I don't know if that's Skip coming in or what's happening. SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. 56, just for kicks.
All right, well, we won't kick you out. We'll keep you right in. Drove by Gazebo Gardens the other day and was sort of peeking through the fence and thinking, I need to go in there, and looked like they had some good stuff. I don't know if they're doing they used to do concerts on Thursday nights or Friday nights, or I don't know if they're still doing those with all the stuff that's going on. All right, Phil, looking good, and I'm checking. I want to see if I see the Running Man going on. Nope. Okay, you are you are good. You know where you're at. Over to SWL 57. That is, who's 57? That's Brown Dog Audio in Central Kentucky. Over to SWL 58. Jeremy, we'll get Jeremy proxied in. Said he's going to get the high gain, I think it's a high tower, which is the big vertical, 40-foot vertical antenna. I think he's going to use that as a temporary setup. I bet that'll tune. Up on 11 meters. Let's go to SWL 59. Over to SWL 60.
Thank you, Dennis. Thanks for calling on me. A couple of quick scores there. Dodgers over the Giants, 4-1. They're leading in the bottom of the 6th. And I guess we had a little upset today on the Bulldogs, 24, Oregon 31. Anyway, SWL 60 checking in. Big Jake Space, the DX 2527.
2527, sounding good. Thanks for the update. Jerry 25 told me about the unfortunate upset after actually a good game, I think, for the Bulldogs and the Dodgers. See, I grew up in L.A. I'm sort of I was a Southern California guy. We had in the second grade, my friend had this really cool radio. You'd flip a switch on this plastic AM radio, and it would take you right to the Dodgers game. I think it was on KFI 640, so it was a switch to switch over to 640. So I have to be careful. I learned the hard way when I moved here to Fresno, the Central Valley, that when you said, "Go Dodgers," and there was Giants fans around, that I got a talking to. Anyway, you're sounding good, and of course, the 2-9 1 base is doing a good job.
Thanks, Dennis.
SWL 61. SWL 62. I can't even read my hand. Oh, out there in North Dakota. Don't think he's out there quite yet. SWL 63. Shortwave listener 64. SWL 65.
65 checking in.
6 and a 5 are in the middle, page 3. Eric, we've got you checked in. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Dennis. Have a good evening.
So far, so good. It's a heck of a lot better than the rest of the day went. Starting early in the morning, that's for sure. It is getting better. Let's go to SWL 66. And let me revisit. I'm going a little too fast here. SWL 62, Mr. King Duckford. Yes, the King Duckford item of interest in Buttonero, North Dakota. I wrote that so fast last week to catch this. I don't even have. I bet I spelled that wrong. But you are in North Dakota. North Dakota is probably starting to cool off. There's a station I used to talk to AM, 10 meter AM. W0 HTV, I don't know, I'll have to look. It says zero call in North Dakota, and he always beaconed in really good. So when we start getting the sunspot cycles, North Dakota has a really good beacon into the Central Valley here. He was even running on a converted 10 meter, or converted CB set. He converted to 10 meters. Talked to him on his 10 meter, or his 11 meter conversion out in the parking lot of a shopping center. He's waiting for his wife to do something. So North Dakota's got good propagation into the Central Valley. Let's see. So KD is in 66. Let's go to SWL 67. Of course, that's Bill in Canby that let the disheveled Dennis into the door. And I jumped in today to get everything running. Got Bill checked in. 70s high and 50s low. So late summer cool. That's not bad. I was thinking you'd be even cooler than that, but you know it's coming. Popcorn 913. He's up. He's got popcorn from the Squamish Boys. He's got his own bag of popcorn and probably heading to the green room. We'll find out shortly what's happening in the green room tonight. SWL 68. SWL 69. Kenny checked in earlier from Tulsa. He might still be listening, but if not, Kenny, as you know, we did get you checked in. Said it was raining, but everything was good. SWL 70, who is out and beaconing. I have not had any radioactivity all week, so I haven't looked at any of the frequencies or bands where Mark may be beaconing. But we'll give an ear tonight if he's actually trying to put in a signal from wherever he might be. We'll see if we can't hear 70 tonight. I'll get you checked in, Mark. And good DX. SWL 71. Stan is in Dallas, Georgia, and he is on the chart tonight. Have I visited the HF radio? There was something going on. 20 meters was in pretty good, but it's going down. Let's see if the FT8 frequency is happening. There they are. Oh, big time. All right. WWB is there. Not sure what's happened on 40.
7300 by ICOM are probably two
nice
of the
signal there.
Best kind of all
and 7238.
Jack in the box kind of radios.
Talking about the 7300. We have a couple of those around here, so that's 40 meters still in good shape. We are looking for SWL 72. And let's see, we don't have the Echo link up, but I've got the window open. I've got the GFD window open, so we might be able to do that. I think I've got it patched into the board tonight. Over to SWL 73. Got a note to get John proxied in, which I will. SWL 74 heard just moments ago. Beaconing in from Madera Heights over to SWL 75. Yeah, DD21, JT is busy out at the shootout swap meet there in South Carolina. Where is it? Rock Hill. He's over in Rock Hill at the big break, and I guess he promised us some videos and some good stuff, and then Old Radio Night will be happening coming up. Let's go over to SWL 77. You'll get to watch the replay. We will get to 77 proxied in. Over to Wild Wildemar, or whatever W Wildemar it is tonight, and see if Richard is in. I thought I saw Temecula, and I always think when I see Temecula that is possibly Richard listening in. Probably could get him on 75 meters if I had the right antenna, but we'll be looking out for Richard. Over to SWL 79. SWL 80. And I will turn the page, but first let's check in with Bob and Steve and see what is happening in the green room tonight.
27.085 OTR channel 11.
We had the board of board meeting tonight, and that's why I'm in the other attire. And I did get I gotta have some more. This is good. The tangerine juice. Let's see what is happening over in the green room tonight. Labor Day weekend, of course. The Jingle Singers are ready. Yes, they are excited about the pool. We're all excited about the pool. Here, when it's going to be 105 or 103 tomorrow, walls are up, the floor is in place. Very nice. I agree. There are 6 lanes, 90 feet long, and each lane has the logo OTR radio marked on the floor. I'm going to have to practice my swimming. I'm really pretty bad. I need some of those floaty things strapped to me to probably make it somewhere, and I'm sure I will not stay on my lane. But we've got OTR 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is going to be, we'll have to have a camera up looking down on the pool for I don't know, a tube radio check-in from the pool. Is that safe? They're adding lighting for the pool. They've added a second tower at the other end, perfect for putting up more antennas. The dipole is perfect. I saw them actually measuring it out and doing something that is going to be the perfect, like the 135-foot length for the doublet. And some other things. At the bar tonight from Delaware's Finest, the Melting Pot. Do they have Delaware Punch? I didn't ask. I tried to stump them with the tangerine, and they got it. They are set up in the green room. Enjoy the net at the Melting Pot. And after the net, the Costco card works great. I noticed I often check the balance on a Saturday afternoon just to see what is going on, and I knew there was some activity there. Bob asked the local Girl Scouts for Labor Day weekend, reminding them to feed the fish. Feed them some of those. You know what they like is those chocolate mint, thin mint cookies. So you can feed them fish and leave some of around for the people. The red limo is back. It's running well. I had a great ride in it today, so check it out when you check into the green room here on your old tube radio network.
27.085 OTR channel 11.
All right, after the old buzzard transmission there, hello to Selbyville, looks like Delaware, listening up from the balcony tonight, and we go to page 4, SWL 81. Steve Areno is in. Oh, and they said I have mail. Where's the mailbag? Who's got? Oh, you've got it. Okay, up there in the front. He's holding it right up, and I didn't even see him. From the mailbag tonight. And Harvey is, if you're listening, I don't think you're watching. The crystals that Mr. Unicorn promised have arrived safe and sound. There's what's left of the box. It actually did pretty good. You know, I think a small box they can toss around, but you know, these are. It smells nice. It smells like there's soap in here. Something that smells good. And here they are, a whole box. You know, this is better than Cracker Jacks, where you get popcorn, but you only get one crystal. Here they are. We got many, many, many from which to choose. I don't want to spill them on the floor. This is great. We'll take them to... what is that? That is interesting. It's got a circuit 14400. What is 14? Wait a minute. What is 14400? Can I go there? I'd have to dial in. No, it'd take me all day to get to see what's on 14400. I'll do it later. Anyway, it looks good. It arrived good. This will help some people get on the air. I'm sure there are some things that will make Channel 11 and some other things that will make all sorts of stuff. Maybe we'll do some pirate radio with the 14400. Thank you for the mail delivery. 81. Crystals, as they say. Crystals for everyone. Your favorite channel will not go unnoticed. Over to SWL 82.
82, checking in. Good evening, Dennis. Thanks for doing the net.
All right, I'm sorry I'm so long-winded tonight. If you want a guy that knows how to really do a net, to tune in on Friday nights, 8 p.m. Pacific time on Channel 36 lower sideband for the Ditch Banks sideband net. And not only does he know how to do the net, he actually has a good station that he hears and transmits quite well. He gets stations from all over, and as usual, everyone is welcome. We've got you checked in. Over.
All right, thanks. Yeah, a little bit of skip coming in there, so kind of rough and tough. So got you dialed in. Had to dial in another radio. Anyway, you do this net just fine. You got a lot more to offer than I got. So anyway, take care and have a good one. 7-3.
All right, yeah, I can hear it just barely coming through. So if you're up in the elevation, or you've got, like I mentioned, like a good station like Ron does, the skip is making things tough tonight. And of course, if I had a good station, it would be better. Let's see. Direct net roll call. We've got the tube radios coming up. If you jumped in here to listen for or watch the tube radios, they are coming up, similar to what's behind me here, like the Johnson and the Robbins, and we'll have some good stuff coming up. So don't go away. Over to SWL 84. And we will get 84 checked in along with the group. We've got one of his radios right back here to warm the room up. Not that we need to, but it is OTR night. Over to SWL 85. And a check-in for shortwave listeners 86, 87, and 88. That's Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and the Snowy Owl, respectively. SWL 89. SWL 90. And SWL 90. Well, Felix is still in. I thought maybe, Felix, you had to take off. Maybe you did. Maybe you just jumped back in. But Felix, SWL 91, is checking in from that time zone way far away out there in the Bronx. Thanks for tuning in, beaconing in the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Tube Radio is on their way over to SWL 92. SWL 93. Shortwave listener 95 on my screen right there. Looking good tonight. Let me get the X in the square. Checking in from Orlando, Florida. Hope things aren't flooding out and that all the temperatures or all the weather has been somewhat kind to you guys out there, but the fact that you are at the radio desk beaconing is a good sign. Thanks for joining us tonight. SWL 96, Dennis Prune Picker out there in Kerman. We got him checked in earlier. Said he's having a little trouble hearing from far out, but we got you just fine. So Dennis 96, you are in. And a lot of people who are better than I at working the time delay on the internet, right there, Boston 97, checking in. 97's in. Thank you for joining the Old Tube Radio Network tonight.
Dennis, I'm checking in and out here in Kerman. Dennis, how about it?
Yeah, hello, radio. Can you hear this micro-milliwatted Midtown Mud Station? Over. Well, we are hearing you just fine. 96, you are checked in. Over. Yeah, one of these days, this OTR guy is going to get a decent radio. SWL 97 is in. Let's see if 98 is in a good location tonight. SWL 98. All right, I got you a little bit down in my noise level. Not quite as strong as last night on the sideband net, but we do have you checked in here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for hanging out and giving it a shot. Thank you, 98. Over. Oh, okay. Headed up. So mobile. That's why the signal is fading in. Oh, you almost sound like Skip. Probably fool a few people and make some Skip contacts. Let's head over. SWL 34. Jimmy just joined us coming down the tracks. I'll put an X in the square for Jim. Railroader and Little Toot standing by. Where's the train whistle? I can never do this right. Let's see if I... Whoa, I got it to work. Wait a minute. You know, that's one of my better ones. It must be Little Toot. Little Toot was pulling on the horn. Thank you. I did a good one tonight. The Old Tube Radio Network. Beaconing down the tracks, and the tube radios are coming up. Let's go to SWL 99. I'll be in the band yet. A little practice, and I'll be in the railroad choir. Let's see, over to SWL 100. That's Tony. I don't know if he's connected up to the Echo Link or not. Maybe I'm messed up. Well, sometimes I connect to the Echo Link server to do an audio test, and I forget to disconnect. So anyway, we are listening in. Tony, I did see you on the page listening in. Trying to stay dry, so we got you checked in. ringing out in South Carolina. Let's go to SWL 103. Shortwave listener 109. SWL 110. And 111 checked in earlier. He was sounding good on the audio stream, but he said after he got done with the 75, hosting the 75 meter net, he came to 11 meters and it was not good on the RX. So he is signed clear. What we do have, he checked in SWL 13. I'm sorry, SWL 113. There's a bit of a difference there. But we are still looking for SWL 113 and 13. SWL 114. I think he checked in from the true ditch banks of Berinda Slough. I will get a check in for Rickshaw because he's out there probably doing some Labor Day stuff, and so he's got a good signal. So Wayne, if you're hearing me, you're in. We're jumping up to shortwave listener 128. That's John Lee. John, we got you checked in from Fairfax, Virginia tonight. And I put an X in the square. Shortwave listener 131. I don't even know what was going on in the ham bands. Somebody said it might be a Tennessee QSO party. I should check the ARRL list and see. Let's go over to SWL 133.
Good evening, Dennis. Please check in 133.
All right, you've got the wire fired up tonight. I hear you just fine. No problem. And Dave, you are checked into the old Tube Radio Network. Thanks. And then I heard this station testing earlier. Let's see if the Radio Cabana is still operational. SWL 135.
Well, if this is still working, this is SWL 135 checking in.
Absolutely, yeah. You got a decent full quieting signal. The audio isn't bad. We will be, ladies and gentlemen, we will be hearing more from the radio that just took a transmission in moments. So stay tuned. We got you checked in. SWL 137. Shortwave listener 145.
Well, good evening, Dennis. I hope you called 145. The noise is really bad up here tonight. So 145 checking in.
Yeah, Tony, everybody in the hills is complaining. If you've got altitude, there is some noise factor going on, QRM, QRN, some skip. But I hear you just fine, and you are checked in over. All right, so 145, Tony is checked in. And let's see, I want to say hello to some people I missed. Joey L. from the Van Man in Kentucky, still trying to get the 6-element beam on top of a 65-foot tower. Yeah, 6 elements pointed to the west. Might do pretty good around here. When conditions are running, I can do pretty good anytime, even when conditions aren't running. SWL 147, Neil, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Kakalaki is in, checking in. Heat wave is over, and early autumn in North Carolina. Radio's quiet except a little bit from the Caribbean this afternoon. 73 from JGQ. Thanks, Neil, for the update. You're looking good. And speaking of beams, sometimes 6 elements just isn't enough. You got to do a couple better than that. SWL 188. He might have. I think if he had the Gizmachi pointed the wrong way, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't hear him at all. Okay, let's try Course Gold. I know it is rough tonight. Calling the Course Gold Starliner, SWL 195.
195, checking in, guys. Sounds pretty good up here.
All right. Well, you always seem to beacon in. Maybe you're not behind the rock. There is a large rock, I think, that really messes me up from North Fork and places like that. So thanks for not being behind the rock. We got you checked in.
Might be in the shadow of it.
Could be. Well, Jim is standing on his tippy toes, getting the signal to come in. You're sounding good. We got you checked in. SWL 226. Jeff is checking in. Shockwave. I've got the X in the square and see you via YouTube. Thanks for listening. Okay, and I will just listen. Some people I missed, if you're going to want to try and check in or maybe pick that hole in the noise floor, OTR is standing by for check-ins and hello radios.
Hey, Dennis.
Hello, radio, over.
Yeah, it's Tracy. I was wondering if I can get in on the old tube thing fairly early. I know I should wait till everybody's done, but my wife worries about me being up here by myself in the dark.
Yeah, what happened to our, it's 8:51 and there's still some sunlight. You have picked a good spot. I hear you perfectly. So, yeah, if you've got some items or for some traffic for the old tube radio network, you've got a good spot. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go ahead now?
Yeah, go ahead now.
Okay. Well, I have a Yaesu from Yaesu Lucen Company. It is a FT101B. B is in Bravo. It's kind of it's really a hybrid because it has solid state receive, and there's only 3 tubes in it. There's a driver and 2 finals. I didn't do enough homework to tell you what the finals are, but you can probably tell me that. But I've had a lot of good talking on that back in the day, back in cycle 22. And my wife used to come up the hill in the middle of the night from work, and I would stand by the radio because we didn't have cell phones back then, and I would guide her up the hill, and if I fell asleep, my friend Rod on the hill would guide her up. And I think sometimes Jeff would guide her up too. I think Jeff could hear her too.
Yeah, was that Rod up in Auberry?
Roger D.
Rod in Auberry. If I go back to some of the SWL lists from 25 or 30 years ago, Rod in Auberry is definitely up on those. Just for a quick check-in, the 101B is up on the board here. I believe it runs the 6JS6, a pair of those finals, and the 12BY7 for the driver. And it has 2 transistors that should be on the back that do the, I guess it's DC to DC conversion that allows it to run off of 12 volts over.
Yes, and I do have the cable for it. I actually have used it that way too. I used to live up on Peterson Road, and I digress for a second here. I did want to note that Rod was my friend for 35 years, and he's now a silent P. But anyway, I used to use that up on Peterson Road. I'd go find a spot where you could see town and park there and hook it up to mobile. And me and Jeff talked back and forth to Madera back then too, and I just had a lot of fun with that radio.
Yeah, if you can see it, you can work it. You do AM, you had to have the AM filter and also run the carrier, keep the carrier at 25 watts. I can't remember what the what it would show up on the meter. You look at your carrier current, keep the current down. It's got a great talker. There are a lot of mods for that for AM. It's one of the, some of the boat anchor guys swear by those with a little bit of audio modifications, and it does sideband quite well. I used to run mine with I had a 101. I used to run it with a receive preamp. All right, back to you. Thanks for the 101B. Back in the early days, I was running an FT101 as net control stations. And believe it or not, 35 years ago, we didn't allow those to check in because they weren't all solid tubes. But now, since they're old, and when we check them in, we only hear the transmitter section, the 3 tubes. We put them down on the list because they're classic stuff. Like you said, a hybrid radio, the FT101B or the classic series, 101E, double E, I think the EX, Easy, all the good stuff from Yaesu. And that unfortunately sort of spelled the demise for a lot of the American companies because the radios were affordable, they did sideband, and they had a lot of power, but they are still around today. Thanks, Tracy.
You're welcome, Dennis. Thanks for letting me check that in, especially since it's a hybrid and not a full tube rig. But anyway, I'll let you get ready for the real tube radio.
All right, very good. Yeah, we're going to do that right now. I'm going to take a break, switch some things around for the tube radios, and we will be back in one moment on your old tube radio network. And Arlen, I haven't heard. Arlen is watching. Hi, Arlen. We haven't seen you, haven't heard you in a long time here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Welcome back. And we'll be back in a moment on the Old Tube Radio Network. And you still might be listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
And, of course, the audience is applauding because they know following here at 9 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time on the West Coast, the tube radios will be beaconing, hopefully, through the airwaves to Old Tube Radio Net Control. It's sort of like that one you see right up there, the FT101B, but we will have all flavors and all manner of tube radios. My name is Dennis, the net control operator tonight, decked out in the tube radio garb and waiting for your radios. Standing by.
135, 135.
135. Let's go with 135. I know he has got things warmed up, waiting, and are ready to go. And I've got our first entry in here right at 9 o'clock. Right at 9 o'clock. Looking good. Take a transmission over.
Okay, SWL 135 here on a radio from Miami, Florida. This is the Pierce Simpson Guardian 23. All 23 channels, no waiting, and the original Pierce Simpson microphone. Back to you.
Very good. Let me see if I've got a Guardian 20. Oh, you know, it says courtesy of 135. There it is. The person, and I did not know they were out of, I think you said Miami. You've got listeners from Florida, listeners from Orlando, so it's not too far away. So our Florida SWLs are standing up and cheering for the first radio from Florida. I actually did net control on a Pierce Simpson Guardian 23. I don't know if it's a 23. Is there a 23 plus? There's another one or something, a 23B. I can't remember what mine is, but that was one I got from Harvey. And it is around here somewhere. It should be up in the back behind me. I will have to do that. So take another transmission. This is a cool radio. I like the design of this radio. This was their, I think, top of the line for the mid 60s. It has a great receiver, and the transmit's not doing too bad as well. Over to you.
Oh, that's good to hear. I forgot to mention 11 tubes. 11 tubes on this thing, but 23 channels. And a little, the modulation indicator, what is that? That's neon flashing away as I speak, hopefully indicating that it is working. I am extremely low in frequency, so I hope you got me dialed in okay where you can hear it. I've got 0839, somewhere right around there, about 0839. So it is low on frequency. Sorry about that. There's nothing I could do about that today. But I thought I hadn't checked it in a while, so I thought I'd check it in.
Yeah, it has been a while. And it's been a while since we have had any Pierce Simpson radios on at all. I know there's a fans of Pierce Simpson radio Facebook page, so I hope some of their SWLs are tuning in or will tune in the replay audio or replay video and hear a very nice Pierce Simpson, a picture of which we have. The very radio that you're hearing or will be hearing in moments is the one up on the video. And as always, Cliff manages to make sure they are tuned to channel 11 on the screen. And yeah, the neon modulation indicator, the channel selector, and the S meter are all in that rectangular escutcheon, I guess you would call it, or faceplate. But doggone it, and I know you agree with me on this, couldn't they have made that meter a little bit bigger? Over.
Yes, it is very small, very hard to see, and not well illuminated. The illumination for it, at least on mine, and I've checked inside, there's no other light bulb. The illumination of the meter is provided by the light bulb that illuminates the channel. It's like a quarter-inch high and maybe an inch and a half wide. And poorly illuminated here in the dark. Honestly, it's by Pierce Simpson Incorporated, Miami, Florida, USA. That's what it says on the radio, Miami, Florida. I'm not sure if that's where the business offices were, but it does say manufactured by, so maybe that's where they were made. I'm not sure. What do you know about it?
What do I know? I'm going to swap the picture here. And I did do a little frequency check, and you are right. You are at 83.9, and I dialed the receiver in, and it does bring your audio a little bit crisper. But it sounds good center slot. But I tuned you in, and it brings it out just a little bit. So if anybody is listening, any of the SWLs, over the air, go ahead and put your delta tunes on the minus side or on the low side. I have an ad. I just brought up an ad on the picture, and it says Pierce Simpson Incorporated, Miami, Florida. Please send me full details on the new Guardian 23, Companion 2, Escort, S-meter, and remote speaker. So I don't know what the S meter. Oh, companion tube. Oh, you could put an S meter in the companion tube, so they didn't have one. And they are at 2295 Northwest 14th Street, Miami, Florida, 33125. Back in the day, that two-way radio at that time, $299.50. It wasn't even $300. Back to you.
Yeah, it was pretty pricey back then, that's for sure. It does have an external speaker jack in the back, but it also, I don't know anything about this, but it has another jack, a quarter-inch jack in the back for, what does it say, like the RF output metering or something like that, and I'm not sure. I've never found the manual for this thing, and it doesn't really talk about it in the SAMs. It's in SAMs number 8. So I was wondering, you used to have one, right? So do you know what that did, or what you were supposed to plug into it, or what?
I do have one, and I don't even recall that item being there. And we'll be... Wait, there's somebody having a good time out there. I know that is not the limousine. I'll be asking you about the microphoniums also, because we see 2 in the picture. But I'm going to go back to the advertisement, and it says 23-channel frequency selection with exclusive heterosync circuit, dual conversion super heterodyne receiver with low noise new Vista front end. That's why the receiver's so good. Superior squelch circuit, illuminated S meter, as so they say. Channel selector and modulation indicator easily provides full 5 watts legal input while operating at 50% of its full load capacity, ensuring long component. Okay, I was thinking if they said anything about the stuff in the back, and they do not. So that is a mystery that maybe somebody with the SAMS PhotoFax 8 is going to help us with at some point. Over.
Yeah, I was just curious, because I see that there every time I hook it up, and I'm like, what do they want us to plug into that thing? It is a very nice receiver. Has a switchable ANL and all that good kind of stuff. Has squelch, RF gain, but no delta tune. If I'm listening to somebody off frequency, there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, and the mic. You asked about the mic. This is the handheld Euphonics. It's Euphonics with an E. C as in Charlie -47. The C47 Euphonics handheld microphone, and it says Pierce Simpson and PS in the meatball area in the front.
Yes, it does, and it's right in our picture. And then you also have a Pierce Simpson desk style mic from Shure. Someone just shouted out here, final current monitoring. So perhaps could you monitor your final current with that thing with that item in the back, usually in the cathode circuit of the final tube to read the plate current? What do you think?
It seems to make sense. I'm just wondering what I would hook up to it in order to monitor that, just like a regular old vacuum tube voltmeter or something like that, and I'd want to know how to wire it up so I don't blow anything up. It's just one of those things on there that I wondered, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah, well, the Regency Imperial had the SVC. It had the switchable meter, the S meter, the voltage, and the current. And then I think you used that when you had the final control. You'd dip your plate current. So maybe it's something like that where you want to do some, although I don't think there's any tuning on the front like the Regency, but you could have it connected there and make sure that your current was where it's supposed to be, that your finals were dipped.
Dipped and peaked and tweaked and perfected to perfection. Okay, well, that's it. I'll get out of the way, and thanks for letting me check it in. I haven't heated this thing up in a while, so it's nice to give it a go. I'm glad it's still working. See ya.
All right, now it's still working. Thanks for bringing it by. Maybe we'll find out what the current should be if you're running your 4 watts, your 5 watt DC input to a 4 watt output. And plate current meter in series, plate current the same as the cathode current. and you can successfully dip those finals. Our radio starting off things this evening here on the live and the direct side. Mr. Green Arrow on the Pierce Simpson. This is the Guardian 23. And I'm just checking. Oh, and let me go back to the ad. This was one of 3 radios that Pierce Simpson had out. The Companion 2 for $189.50 was the starter rig, if you will. The Escort for $229.95 was their middle selection, their middle offering. And if you wanted the full 23 channels and the new Vistas and everything else, you went up to $300. And you get the outstanding features of the Guardian 23, which you just heard, courtesy of Mr. Green Arrow and the Pierce Simpson Company out of 2295 Northwest 14th Street in Miami, Florida, 33125. Thanks for bringing it by. And not a bad package for 15 pounds when you realized that you could, the Hallicrafters and the Johnson amateur transmitters back in the day were in 75 or 80 pounds. But of course they did a little bit more than 5-watt DC input.
Number 7.
And might have even had the 11 meter, but not the Class D style as well. Number 7, take a transmission. You are very possibly our radio number 2, over.
Oh, I believe I would definitely be number 2, because this is the Tram TR27E with the Electro-Voice 638 microphone.
EB638. Well, since we're putting ads, let me put the ad for that radio up before we actually show the radio. And I think, again, we are going to get lucky and have a picture of the actual radio talking. Plus, somebody on eBay, now was it eBay? No, I think it was Facebook, had a meter from the radio. I don't know if it was from a parts radio, but it was the big meter that they were selling. I can't remember what the price. I think it was $25 or $30. So if you wanted to have dual meters, one for each eye, I guess you could do that. To take a transmission, we'll talk about the Tram, over.
Well, thank you. Yep, it's the big green radio, nice 5x7 speaker, the S meter, about 3.5 inches wide, 3 inches tall, and nothing really small on it at all. Volume switch, limiter, which is noise limiter, works really well. Squelch, and of course a little modulation light, and I believe that's about it.
All in the big giant package. They're nice big knobs, all sort of like what Browning Laboratories would do. So if you had a wintertime gloves on, you could probably still tune things around. Big S meter. And I believe it's from 1963. Like I did with Clip, we'll switch over to the ad here from CB Horizons Magazine, October 1963. Can you believe it was that long ago? And the Tram is out of Winnisquam, New Hampshire, P.O. Box 187, Department 10A, Tram Electronics Incorporated. They even give a service tip. When tuning the 31.5 megacycle first conversion receive oscillator, that's coil L2, tune for maximum DC voltage at pin 7 on the 6BK7, that's V2. Then looking at the coil from the bottom of the set, turn the slug counterclockwise to drop the grid, pin 7 voltage to 2 volts. This results in optimum oscillator stability. So, yeah, you needed some stuff for that, and like the Pierce Simpson, giving you some places to peak, tweak, and things to make your radio sound and do even better things. So, I'm sure you will not turn the coil until it stops.
There you go. No, in fact, did have to replace some tubes and do a little tuning on the old radio not too long ago, but she's still operating again.
And sounding good. And that Tram service tip was something they said they would put in each month, a service tip. So that'd be pretty cool to get all the magazines and find out how many different service tips they had. And you have your TR27E in fine mode. The S meter is now the Arsenal moving coil type with an illuminated panoramic scale, accurately calibrated to 60 dB over S9, and that is open to comment, because there was a way, I think, to figure out what was the millivolts that you needed for S9. Was it 100 or something else? There was a Collins standard and something else. I bet they did it to the Collins standard on that meter. With your 100% high-level modulation keyed compression base station, give us another transmission as we go back to the picture of your Tram TR27E.
Yes, you can definitely tell mine with the funky little red switch in the top middle. That should not be there, but other than that, it's pretty darn good shape. Except for the tubes I had to replace. It's been a real good radio ever since I got it. Been checking it in here for a while.
Yes, you have. And we say, boys and girls, do not drill holes in the front of your radio to put in a switch. Just don't do that. There's got to be a better way, but they actually did a fairly okay job, and the little red matches the spot switch. Oh, and the other thing that's red is the modulation meter. Do you get any illumination on that from the Electro Voice microphonium?
Yes, I do. It does light up on voice peaks and lets me know that it's operating.
And in operating, it is indeed great audio and a great signal for our second radio of the evening, the Tram TR27E. Winnisquam is sounding good tonight, and thanks for bringing it by.
And thanks for letting me check it in.
And if you didn't know already, you are listening. You are tuned to the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
60. 45.
And I was just about to say we're standing by for radio number 3, which we have, SWL 60. Step up in the air chair, Joe, and if you can hear me, Paul, 45, you will be radio number 4 after Joe. So let's see, 918. Logging in SWL 60, and over to you, Joe, for a transmission. Over.
Thank you, Dennis. Yeah, I'd like to check in my Hustler radio. World Radio Labs. I have a Hustler radio with, this is a Turner Plus 3 microphone.
Boy, that has good audio. And you know what? Doggone it. My archived shot of the World Radio Labs Hustler is gone away. And I bet I'm not going to be able to find that, because that was a special thing. So go ahead and take another transmission. That +3, wherever you have it set, that radio likes it a lot. It's got great audio. I can't remember. Give us some stats on that. I can't remember if that's a 23-channel rig or if it's crystal controlled with a couple of channels. But tell us. Give us the word's eye view on the Hustler. Over.
Okay, Dennis. Now this radio here, Harvey went through it. On the back side, there are a couple of adjusters that he told me not to touch, and we're doing just that. This radio is kind of unique in a way, being a Hustler radio. Doggone it. This is a 7.2, Dennis, 7.2, pretty blue radio. I call it a pretty blue. It's an excellent radio to run in a car. It only measures 11 inches in width, about 5 inches tall, and probably 5 inches deep. So it's an excellent radio if you'd like to run this in a car. It has a squelch. It has a on spotter, which I'm not yet familiar with, a volume control, a vertical meter that starts from the bottom and goes up. It has a modulation light and a crystal, extra crystal. This is an 8-channel radio. It has channel 6, 10, of course 11, 17, 19, 20, 22, and I'm not sure what the extra crystal is. I guess it has a tuning knob on it, which you come in here excellent. I mean, you're coming in treetop tall. I love the way it picks everyone up on the band. But this is my Hustler radio, once again, 8-channel, 7 tubes.
And as Harvey would say, 8-channel, 7 tubes, no waiting. I managed to find a picture of a Hustler, not a Rustler like we had before, but the Hustler with some eBay stuff all around it, but we'll ignore that. And your description was absolutely perfect. So we've got the radio here with the 4 knobs, the spotter switch, the channels and tuning. So it appears that you've got some variable tuning to go with your crystal control transmit. And I see you actually have an external crystal socket. So somehow it could spot, it must put either a carrier on the meter or maybe some tone to help you find, to help you put your tuner where your channel selector is, and you have done that fine. I should check your frequency. But a radio that had an S meter was usually pretty, up in the higher price range. World Radio Labs made some great radios for amateur, and they jumped into the CB situation. I see that this one has the mobile bracket. It's got the black case around. This was in pretty good shape. And I noticed this one has, it looks like the microphonium is hardwired into the front of the radio. It is not, it doesn't have a plug, but I see the handheld thing on the side, like the mobile bracket. But you say you are running a +3, so I'm assuming that either it has a microphonium jack or somehow the +3 got wired in there. Over.
Yeah, Harvey installed the plug right below where it says World Radio Lab. The lab, he put a DIN plug there. I guess the cord came from the back, and now I have it here in the front. I have the original mic. It's a little blue mic. I'm not sure what it's particularly made out of, but next time I will. I'll have it on so we can hear what it sounds like. I heard it, modulation, Harvey will have it. But it does have the original mic.
Okay, and how interesting that we were talking about the microphones and your radio that was running perfectly had a little bit of static and audio loss. So you may be stretching the cord, or take another quick transmission with the +3. I want to make sure that everything is good. Over.
Okay. I backed up the cord too much for it. The modulation light is flickering, so it does tell me a little bit that it is on. I have a little forward modulation on it. I don't know, I kind of moved up the mic a little bit. Maybe I was kind of smashing the cord against the radio.
Yeah, it's good. It was perfect that time. Looks good. Check on the R-band meter. Loudness is right where it should be. And didn't skip a beat. On the very rare World Radio Labs Hustler, our third radio, and believe it or not, Hustler's at the microphonium tonight. That's a +3. And doing some really nice, smooth audio. Oh, I know Paul is waiting, so I just wanted to do one thing. I was going to do a frequency check on that. So give us another 10-second transmission. We'll see where you line up on your Channel 11 crystal. Over.
Thank you much, sir, Dennis. Us on these radios. Yeah, we'll give you a little bit more modulation on it, and then we'll let, I guess that's number 45, get his transmission in.
Not bad, 84.5, and it has good enough audio when you go to sideband. It sounds very nice. So thanks for bringing it by. Radio number 3, Hustler. That's the name of the radio. That's the name of the operator. World Radio Labs providing the radio, and I don't know who's providing Joe tonight, but we are having a good time on the old tube radio network, and thanks to whoever eBay radio that is. I think it said it was sold. I don't know if that's the one. Maybe that's the one you have. I think yours was the Rustler. I'm not sure. This might be the actual one that you have. I'll have to see. We've been doing pretty good tonight in showing pictures of radios that are actually the radios are talking. Thanks, Joe. Step up into the air chair, Paul. I hope you can hear me. You're going to be next, Radio 4. I wanted to say hello to somebody jumped in here. There was somebody new that jumped in. Julius. Hello, Julius. Saying hello from southeast Pennsylvania, the spaceman. And who said that sounds like a song? I think King Duckford. Yeah, that was a Nielsen. That was a Harry Nielsen song, wasn't it? About I want to be a spaceman. Okay. And we want to check in some radios. Hello, Paul, 45. Are you listening? Over.
Yeah. I'm trying to get down the hill. I hope I can. That's that big rock right in front of us. I'm checking in by realistic TRC-HD.
All right, you are making it down the hill. And yeah, I think you are on the other side of that rock. Jim gets on one side, and you get on the other side, and the rock doesn't have a chance. So let me see if I can find a realistic. And give me the model number again, over.
Yeah, it sounds up here like somebody has an arc roller right here on my bench. We'll figure it out. To receive, I really have a hard time receiving, so bear with me. Back to you.
All right. And see what I know there, Duckford. It's Mr. Spaceman is a bird song, and I think there's a Nielsen song about Spaceman, but it may have a different name. What is the model number, Paul, if you can hear me? What is the model number of the realistic? Over.
Okay. It's a TRC-HD.
All right, looking in the Rolodex here. Oh, my gosh. All right. This doesn't even look like a radio. Let me pull it up on the screen here. Realistic TRC 8 Delta. It looks like it was built in someone's garage as a prototype. Over.
Yeah, it's kind of plain. You know, that mine's on the bottom there, and after somebody did, they took all the labels off it and painted it. So that's the problem. Lucky I got a picture of here. It tells you what's on the thing. If you can copy it, I'll read it back to you.
Yeah, copying good. I'll get a close-up because, like I said, it's plain. You better know, when you're driving this radio, you better know what you're grabbing because it's a panel with switches, knobs, and some lights. But it's working. You're on Channel 11, and I hear you. Over.
Okay. Well, let me show up with this. At the left top will be the crystals. And there's 8 crystals. Next to that is tuning. That's the vehicle type tuner. Next to that is the 12th. Next to that is the volume. And of course you got your meter up here on the right-hand side. Below that you got a crystal tune on the slide switch and a PA on the other slide switch. So that's it. Remember.
Okay, boy, I hope you you put in some Post-it notes or something. That's good. I had followed along here on the picture, and I can see the tuner. Right? At least you know where your receive tuning is. The S-meter looks interesting, and then apparently there are some lights. When you turn things on, you'll get at least a couple of pilot lights or maybe some modulation. Speaking of which, the modulation quality is good. It is certainly not 100% audio, but your signal is just above my noise, so it's not doing bad at all. This is a realistic. Let me mention again. Everybody is familiar with it. Realistic TRC8D, and I'm just wondering if there are more than one or two of these around, because it looks like they started to build them and then they weren't sure, but it's working. Over. Yeah, I'm just saying there are probably not many of these radios around, but we're glad that you have one that is working. Over.
Yeah, I got most of that, but not all of it. And it's just really terrible. I hate it. I really hate it. It's hard to, anyway, on the microphone I'm having trouble with that too, so. Babylon, more.
All right, I was just checking your frequency, not too far off, about 500 cycles low off of Center 11, but sounding good. The audio is a bit low, but the signal is there. We are listening to Paul. This is radio number 4 in the old Tube Radio Network, the Realistic TRC8 Delta. Class D 11-meter radio, sounding good. Hey, Paul, thanks for putting the extra effort to not only get the radio on the air, but to hear me as well. We will catch you next time. Over.
Yeah, thanks to you, Dennis, for putting up with me. Hopefully I'll get a better receiver on the next one I check in if I can get another one in. Thanks again.
All right, very good. And you can see you are about an S unit above the noise, but the audio is coming through if you're watching. Hey, Paul, if you're watching the video later on, hello. You will like Radio 4, the Realistic TRC8D. I want to check in or do the official check-in for, and he must be a tired guy coming in from the where were you? Rockwell, the Rock Hill CB break and shootout, SWL 00. Also masquerading as SWL 21, DD 21 there tonight. So I'm glad you made it back. Hope it was a good time. I think you said you might have some videos down the road, and then old radio night that was preempted tonight will be coming up shortly. So thank you, JT, and we've got you checked in. Go to bed. You deserve it. You will probably be asleep in 2 minutes, dreaming about all that good stuff that you saw out there at Rock Hill. The old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's glowing in the dark. The Jingle Singers want to do one item of interest here.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you, wherever you are. Your favorite spot on the dial by far is known to you and
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
And we are listening for radio number 5. And Albert, hello. Oh, yeah, I do have a bit. You know what it is? Albert's saying you have a bit of an echo. But see, they're way up there in the balcony. So it's going to echo a little bit. But I think you have... I think we have some leftover... When I was doing the train whistle, I had a little bit of effects. And I think I added... Yeah, I think I added too much effects. So let's can the effects and look for radio number 5. And hello to Keith, Sierra Radio. Rocky Mountain, Virginia, dialing into the Old Tube Radio Network, where we are looking for radio number 5.
Is it that quiet tonight?
You know, it is that quiet down here in the flatlands, but if you were to go up the hill and go to any elevation, the stations tonight that are up in Coarse Gold and the foothills are having a tough time with the noise and whatever other QRM and QRN is out there. So we are trying our best. And welcome back. I hope you got everything done.
There's a ping for you. Yeah, we started a half hour early, so I got back. How bad am I humming?
It's not too bad. It is in the background. It is not doing anything or anything like that. Sounds like more of something going on in the background, but you're nice and loud. And I heard I thought that was you. I heard your ping coming in. I'm thinking, no, that can't be Harvey. But there is only one radio. As I put myself back on frequency, there's only one radio that does that. And of course, as usual, we were talking about you. So you had to come in and say something.
Oh yeah, I was listening on the way back. What's this thing about crystals?
Oh yeah, the crystals. Where did they go? Where did we put the mailbag? Right down here. Steve Areno, Mr. as Bozo Control would say, Mr. Unitype Corn. The box of this still smells like soap. It smells good, but it's and I'm gonna get them all over the place if I don't watch out. We have here that is a box full of, and I don't even know the styles, like 243s and lower style crystals, and it is too dark in here with the studio lighting to see all the different frequencies. But we have some now for dining, dancing, even the smaller style that looks like you could put in a walkie-talkie. Some of them are on circuit boards. I pulled out one that was 14. I was going to dial on that frequency, 14400. 14, megahertz, 400. And here's another one. This little box. It says JK Crystals Frequency Channel 7R, the James Knight Company. So it's a cool box that Steve Areno sent to us. So we'll have to put it in our archive, our arsenal of stuff to get people on Channel 11 over. Okay, now there's many from which to choose, and some of them actually have channel indicators on them, as they like for channel 14, but it'll be a 13 meg crystal. So yeah, it looks like it'll be something you want to reference. All right, I've dialed in 14. We're going to the HF radio. I've dialed in 14400. Let me bring it up. That in? Okay, let's go to sideband here. Nothing. So I don't know what would be at 14400. There's just nothing anywhere. But we got crystals over.
Okay. All righty. Well, whenever or if you want to check on some frequencies, I know it says 7R. It might list the frequency, like whatever channel 7 is. Excuse me. But it depends on what the fundamental frequency is of that crystal, and then, what it actually reads. And I have a crystal tester here with a frequency counter. So, even though it might say 27085, is it a 9028 point whatever, or 13.542.5, or something else for transmit and receive? Could be any number of frequencies. So, anyway, that's a good thing about having this tester. I mean, that way you know if it'll work in your radio. And then there was a question about a Pierce Simpson Guardian.
Oh, that may have been answered. Cliff checked in the Pierce Simpson Guardian 23, and there was a jack or an item in the back of the radio. And I think we determined that it was for testing purposes, or maybe to get your and I'm going to blow it here, but get plate current or cathode current out for testing purposes. Richard mentioned that. So I think we may have answered that, but if you are familiar with the Guardian 23 and the 23B, whatever service outlet is in the back, looks like it was maybe for adjusting. Let's see, 97 Boston, 14400 megahertz is probably a mixer for a 23-channel scheme. Yeah, and I just pulled out a couple of the crystals randomly here, and I have my light. Here's one. It says 27115. Okay, T13, and it's a Johnson. So this one is another one I pulled out. It is 8410. And it is from, it is a 714835. Okay, so it's random stuff. Here's a Channel 9A, it says. It's CTS Nights from ARS. So, and one more. Just get a flavor. Oh, how about that? 27085, T11. And that is a Johnson. That's a Johnson crystal. So what do you think? Would be like a messenger or something with those straight with no mixing. T11. Then we have 5290 kilocycles, and that is from American something AR10. So yeah, that's it says crystal. Ha. So there you go. It's all sorts of stuff. It's like, Halloween candy. Over.
For a messenger one or two, and can probably be used in anything. That's a straight A crystal, 27085. So that's good. Goes in a whole lot of radios for transmit. Okay, my Browning Golden Beagle R68T68 by Browning Laboratories, no flushing tonight. Custom D104 with the Browning medallion on the back. I'm tired. That'll be my only radio tonight.
Hey, not a problem. A lot of people are doing weekend stuff or watch the game or whatever's going on, so we're always appreciative to anybody that takes time. Even JT, who was traveling the country, stopped by tonight after the Rock Hill CB Fest and said hello to everybody. So we really appreciate people doing that when they could be crashing out on the couch or getting their tangerine juice or doing whatever they do. So thanks for that. Yeah, the 27085 crystal. I may have to put that. I've got the Gonset, which I think could go in that, and my messenger Whiteface has a channel 11 crystal problem. When I used it, I used to have to keep slapping it because the crystal would fall out. So I'm thinking that maybe that would be a good thing. I want to get the full page ad. That is what we just heard, the Browning Golden Eagle R68, T68, or the Beagle version of that. Does your radio have a tail? How do you know it's the Beagle?
Sometimes it doesn't ping. It goes woof.
All right. Well, as long as it makes some noise on Channel 11, that's a good thing. Thanks for checking in. You have given us radio number 5. There is still time for those that desire to do so to jump in with their tube-type radios. So we'll be standing by.
Oh, real quick. Dwayne and Chrissy are still listening to the net. Their box
Yeah, get something. That is a good thing to do. And they were in. She's still listening, so I'll let them know that the package has arrived, safe and sound, and it is even safer and sounder. So thanks for stopping by. Number 7. Where can I put you? How about number 6 on the list for number 7? That's a good way to confuse net control, but I think I'm in the Browning mode here, so go ahead.
Yes, Peter, we'll keep with the Browning mode with the R68T68 Golden Eagle.
Wow, you read my mind. That is the picture that I still have, if I would put it up. I haven't changed yet. Let's see. Go back. The R68T68. There it is. The Golden Eagle by Browning. The new Golden Eagle for 1966, I think. 67 from Browning Laboratories in Department 1 at Laconia, New Hampshire. And unfortunately, the print is not good enough to read, so I will move back to the radio as we hear a transmission from you.
Yes, another radio rescued by Harvey. Gotten working again, so thanks to him. This one also has the banana mic attached.
As it does in the picture. And do you have both pieces, the separate stand, which actually, I guess it has a little bit of weight to it, and the microphonium itself?
Yeah, I have the mic and the stand, both in pretty darn good shape. Luckily, I've seen some of them kind of messed up. Got lucky and picked it up at one of Red Monkey's little outings, their little yard sale things.
Always good stuff from Red Monkey, whether it's vintage old tube stuff or whether it's brand new and you need something for your vehicle or your shack from right now. He will have it for you. All right, and Chrissy says you have made Dwayne happy by checking in the Eagle tonight. I'm sure if we had conditions, or if the conditions were right, Dwayne would be in front of his Browning, checking into the old Tube Radio Network. Chrissy would be in front of the Robin, checking into the old Tube Radio Network. And, oh, by the way, at 10:30, if you didn't hear Harvey, he mentioned that the package, that package has arrived safe and sound, and he has it up on the radio desk, ready to open. He just got in, so that is doing good. And speaking of doing well, radio number 6, back to you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And with that, I'll be bringing another radio very shortly.
All right, we will be here to listen to said radio. What was I? Oh, you know what? I was going to go over to the... before I do, I was going to do the Jingle Singers. Let me check out the Echo link tonight, and I'll just throw this out because I know there's a delay, and Tony may or may not be... No, it's not. It's not Tony. I believe it is Keith. Let me see who's on. Yeah, Keith is on the Echo link. So I'll give enough time for the delay to go through, and they say, "Oh, he's talking about me," and I will bring up the Echo link, which I believe is that item of interest, and I will fire this up, and we'll see if we can't get a transmission or two from Keith. KW4SR from KB6GFD on the Echo link over.
Hello, Dennis. KW4SR here. Yeah, good show this evening. We're just sitting back enjoying there, Dennis. Over.
As likewise I am. I got to find the push-to-talk bar on this particular thing. Sounding good. Hope all is well in Rocky Mount up in Virginia. I don't know what kind of weather you guys had or have been having from the storm, but the fact that you've got power and you're in the Radio Shack, it proves to be a good thing. Over.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, most of the storm went north of us. We got the edge of it, which was only a few showers of rain, not even wind. So, yeah, we prepared for it, but it went on by, and I think all of the rain went up Pennsylvania, New York, up in that area. I think they got quite a bit, but our temperatures have dropped since then. We were in the 70s yesterday and today, and boy, it felt good. Haven't had anything that cool in a long time.
Yeah, what they say is coming up. 'Tis the season here. I think we're still for 100 degrees or so coming up the next couple of days. But okay on the weather, and like I mentioned at the beginning of the net here, it's hard for me to imagine here in the Central Valley where we get 9 or 10 inches of rain possibly in a year, that there are places that got that much precipitation in the matter of a couple of days, and that is totally amazing. All right, you're sounding good. Thanks for jumping in on the Echo link. I just I had the screen blocked, and I managed to look over that, and I wanted to say hello. As I always say, we will communicate on some other frequency when conditions permit, but always enjoy chatting with you here on the Old Tube Radio Network. So 73 to you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Over.
Okay, 73, and thanks for letting me jump in there.
Number 7.
All right, 73, KB6GFD. And he's done it again, number 7, as Radio 7, appearing tonight as Mr. Ed. Go ahead.
Well, once again from Browning Laboratories, only this time it's the Mark III SSB.
Which we have not heard from tonight. It's been the Golden Eagles. I'm looking to see if I can't find a Mark III SSB, and it's the classic one that I always bring up because it's such a great shot. Or, okay, let me do the desk shot here, and then we'll switch over. So first we go over to, it says an advertisement. Well, that doesn't look like that, and it's also got a VFO. But there's if you stack them side by side, you definitely need 3 feet of radio table over.
Yes, and I got this little desk expressly for that reason, because it was just a little over 3 feet, so that the Browning would fit on top, all nice and ready to go for OTR.
That's the way to do it. Have your own. I used to do that. Have the OTR section of the radio room. Now they're all kind of scattered all over the place. And one of our SWL said the Mark III sounds great, and I agree. Ed is not too far away, but he's always good about not making the Eagle scream more than it needs to. The ping is not over the top. In fact, let's go to the other shot right there. If you don't have the radio table space, the real estate, then you do what they do in New York. You build up. You have an upper and a lower story. Over.
Well, at this point, I do have an upper and lower story. So, we have multiple levels, and of course, the tram is on the top level of another desk.
You just make sure the desk is one of those old-style ones with the metal legs, so everything will work. And Chrissy, I agree. Ed does always sound good here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Let's see. The Mark III, 1972 to 1976, and it would have kept going had there not been that 40-channel thing going on. But for those 4 years, a good-selling radio, even at the top price of $700 to $800.
Yeah, that would be as much as I paid for my first car. Well, there you go. Now, which would I rather have, the radio or the car?
Yeah, that's a tough decision, depending on the car. Depending on the car. If it was a Pinto, I don't know. But if it was something different, it'd be a toss-up. But we're glad you've got the radio and brought it by here tonight on the Old Tube Radio Network. It is radio number 7, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB. Thanks.
And thank you with that. I'll be back inside taking a listen.
And we are listening as well for radio number 8, doing some counting and amounting here on the Old Tube Radio Network. I don't know about anywhere else, at least not up on the, down here, not on the hill. It has actually been pretty quiet on the bands tonight. Let's see. Hey, for a not-so-late check-in, let me bring up the SWL list. It hasn't been closed. The SWL list is still open. They're sweeping the floors, you know, putting the numbers back up on the shelf, but 52 is right where it needs to be. Let me bring the... There it is. SWL 52 is checked in. Thank you, Aaron, for remembering the Saturday night place to be. Breaker broke 23 with his set of Mark IIIs way back in 79 when they still had that new smell. I bet, and has them today. I wish we had some conditions. Would love to hear those here on the Old Tube Radio Network. I don't know. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay on the air. Well, I don't know. I don't think I can do either. Yeah, Aaron, I was just counting up page 2. You popped in right at the right time. You gave them yet another SWL to count in. And Chrissy, hello, Chrissy. If you have a question, I might have an answer. Oh, and Captain Robert, yes. Before we sign out tonight, let me bring Bozo Control with the magic honking proboscis that has gotten us through, or maybe gotten us into more trouble here on the Old Tube Radio Network. But when he honks the proboscis in such a manner, it can only mean all manner of good things are beaconing your way on the Old Tube Radio Network. And good night to John and Arlen, 12 midnight. I always appreciate everybody staying up late. Or in the case of Blackpool and our friends on that side of the gray line, getting up early to join us here on the Old Tube Radio Network. And even the jingle singers seem to be winding down just a bit.
You're tuned to
OTR, Channel 11,
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
This is the basic Dennis. Over.
For some reason, I feel older today.
Wait a minute. You too?
Yeah, tomorrow. I turn 71 tomorrow. Isn't that just great?
Yeah, it was, let's see, who were the birthdays? I think 49er, Smitty, and Toby, who runs various Facebook pages, Midwest Sound, and yourself and some others. You know, there are a lot of birthdays. We figured it out one time. There are a lot of September birthdays, and you have to, I don't want to go into it, but you have to kind of back time 9 months back, and you realize that the month of December is a cold month and a month of lots of festivities and things, and I think that explains the September birthdays. Well, man, you definitely are bucking for retirement then. All right, we should be here, I hope, the old Tube Radio Network.
I'll feel better.
Oh,
okay.
There's your replay.
Next week, Dennis.
And then we're going to hear
All
me.
right,
we should be here, I hope, the old Tube Radio Network. Don't you love that when all of a sudden people just pop in and say the same things? I'm trying to get my page to refresh here, and sometimes it just doesn't want to work. But we will do the counting and amounting if I can get Mr. Announcer and everybody back to the ribbon microphone so I can do what I need to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
Current and final totals here on the old Tube Radio Network. Fresno, California. Central California is where we're at. 27085 is the frequency when we go live. Also stream at oldtuberadio.net and the YouTube thing that we started doing at some point when all the cameras showed up. But the main thing is that we've been doing for 35 years is what you've heard is to bring people out on Saturday evening, get on the radio, talk like it was 1965. I don't want to say it was the good old days, because tomorrow could be the good old days on your radio. Maybe you'll just shoot some skip or do something that you haven't done before. But the flavor of Class D 11 meters before it went wacko, right? Before there was C.W. McCall and all that good stuff. But we're having a good time. And our radio operators are gracious enough to take time out from their Saturday evenings and to jump on the radio and share them with us, and the SWLs jumping in and out, listening and enjoying the radios as well. So, what I normally do at this time, I just wonder if that is weird. I hope the audio stream is still going. My studio thing is showing that it's doing weird stuff, but hopefully the audio is still happening here. Doing the counting and amounting. In the SWL file tonight, we had 14 on page 1, 17 on page 2, 15 on page 3, and 22 on page 4 for a total of 68. Got one of these gel pens and it's blobbing. I can't read my writing, but 68 SWLs and 7 radios with the Brownings, thanks to an attack at the end, the most heard manufacturer, but we like them all. And here is what we heard tonight. Let me go to the REA meter, see if I can keep my modulation from going too good tonight. Number 1, radio number 1. We also heard talking about Tracy reminiscing about the FT-101D. which, and I still don't know what the difference was in the B series, the 101, the B, the E, the double E. The E was sort of their deluxe model with the processor. And the 101 series with the 3 tubes, the 12BY7 and 6JS6C. When I had mine, I drove down to Yesu when they were in, and they still there in Cypress. I don't think they were in Cypress. Southern California bought the DC kit, which they still have. This would have been probably in late or in early 1980s. So I could run mobile. Yes, I ran my FT101 in the mobile, in the Buick, thanks to that DC to DC converter. And I still remember the tech telling me when he handed me the thing, it was $40, and I bought a pair of tubes, a set of final tubes. He says, when you hook this up, and they had a diagram on how to hook it up, he says, do not, whatever you do, do not cross the wires because you will blow up the transformers. And he says, you cannot get a new transformer for this radio anymore. He warned me so many years ago, 40 years ago, not to blow up the transformer when I hooked up the DC to DC converter, which I did not. And I actually made a couple of mobile contacts. I remember talking on 15 meters going down Highway 99 with that FT101 on the passenger seat. So thanks, Tracy, for the 101B reminisce. Radio 1, the green arrow on his Pierce Simpson Guardian at 23. It's been a while since we've had a Pierce Simpson radio. Mr. Ed on the Tram TR27E for radio number 2. Hustler, Joe, taking advantage of the fact that he's got one of the only radios probably on the West Coast with the name of Hustler right there from World Radio Labs. Great sounding. I hope you can get in and listen to the replay of that. Radio number 4, Paul on the Realistic TRC8D. The radio, I don't want to call it an ugly duckling, because it's not. It just, you would say it needs work, but that's only on the cabinet, because what we heard transmitting and receiving was certainly well done. Thanks, Paul, for that. Thanks for putting up with the noise tonight. Jumping in from the west side, Harvey and the Browning Golden Eagle R68T68. I think that was the... no, I'm sorry. He went the Browning Golden Beagle. Browning Lavatories R68T68. He has a couple. I've got to get them right. And then the pair of Brownings, the R68T68 from Mr. Ed's Radio 6. And then 7 is 7 on the Mark III. And some birthdays tonight. A lot of birthdays this month. It's September. One of those birthday months. Good night, everybody. I was trying to refresh my page on the other side to see if there was any comments that I needed to address, and for some reason the comments page has ceased, needed to, and desisted, even when the audio comes back up. We'll jump in on the HF side tonight. Looks like 20 meters has gone away. I don't know if the FT8 stations are still out there. Barely. But when it's barely on FT8 means it's still working. Let's see if we've got some AM guys up on 75. Any carriers on the West Coast? No. Any carriers on the East Coast frequencies? No. Just some slop bucket stations. All right, good night, everybody. The Old Tube Radio Network says 73. Oh, and there's the comments page. All right, they came up and nothing to say. All right, good night, everybody, and we'll catch you later on OTR. Get on the air, won't you, with whatever radio you might have, and take a transmission this week. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, Dennis, and of course, thanks to Bozo Control.
That Baker Oscar, Zulu Oscar. That's screechy.
be done.
Looks like I'll have to change my latency back. On the stream, oh, you know what? I didn't have the crossband up tonight, so I probably missed some. I might have missed some stations.
George, it's time for you to talk. I am radio.
I don't have one. A couple of chicken thighs and all that. Hey, close, like you said. Well, I made the guy
all right.
potato salad.
Time to go away and get out of this corduroy jacket.
At the tone, 5 hours, 13 minutes, coordinated universal time.
Oh, wait a minute. 7235. I don't think... I just saw your post, Richard. Let me take the attenuator off. I'm on the 40-meter vertical. I don't think the band... I think the band is long. I think 40 meters is way too long for a... I'm not hearing hardly anything on 40. $72.35, the home of that other swap plan, right? That's what I'm hearing. Look at that. There's nothing either side of it. There's the broadcast on 45. Might be some of the DX guys down on 71. Yeah, 97. And they're way... There's 71, 97. That's probably all the Texas kilowatts down there. I bet if I tried at 8:30 or 9, that's when the band is usually pretty good. All right. Maybe tomorrow on 7235. Good night, everybody, from the Old Tube Radio Network.